I belong to a course who are the youngest veterans of 1971 war. Give me a single instance from 1947 till Dr. Manmohan Singh's time when India ever acted under the pressure of Americans. My own regiment, the Deccan Horse, a very distinguished armored regiment, was in the western sector. Indira Gandhi, the way she, handled the 1971 crisis, that's a matter of record. She wrote that letter, pointed out very clearly to Mr. Nixon that, look, had you people acted in time, had you, prevented Pakistan, no question of begging. In fact, it was the Americans who, when the crisis erupted in Bangladesh, they were begging India. Henry Kissinger was sent here in July, and he begged Mrs. Indira Gandhi on behalf of Nixon that please stop it. But he also warned that in case Pakistan and China get together, America will not come to your rescue. Mrs. Gandhi was not bothered because she had already signed the Indo-Soviet Treaty in August 1971. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, they were taking a lot of interest in foreign affairs. Now, if we had crossed the LOC, I'm certain, I'm not a great military expert, but I'm certain that the casualties would have been much less.
We have seen that in Parliament, BJP MPs are criticizing Indira Gandhi and saying that Indira Gandhi has literally begged President Nixon, and you have retweeted it and reacting to it, saying that it's not Indira Gandhi, it's Atal Bihari Vajpayee who didn't let the army cross the LOC during the Kargil war. So, sir, how would you react to that? And you have also mentioned in your journal, which is the Secular Savior, there that D.K. Palit's comment on Indira Gandhi in his book. You have quoted from that in the journal. So, how would you react to that? Could you please elaborate on this?
At the outset, I would like to clarify that I speak to you not as a congressman, though I'm an active member of the party. I'm an AICC member, but I'm not an office bearer of the AICC. So I talk to you in my individual capacity and also as the editor of the Secular Savior. Now, normally, I don't react to people who indulge in gutter politics. This gentleman you are mentioning, during the Delhi riots, he made that statement, Goli Maro Salon ko, right? Now, this is an anti-national statement. And no action was taken. And after that, he's made many more such statements. So normally I don't react to these people, but because he has leveled a very serious charge without knowing what he's talking about, firstly, he must realize, Mr. Anurag Thakur, that he was not even born in 1971. I think he was born much later. And I was there in the beginning, right in the beginning. My date of commission is 14 November 1971, and I belong to a course who are the youngest veterans of 1971 war. My own regiment, the Deccan Horse, a very distinguished armored regiment, was in the western sector. So now I remember though I was a second lieutenant only, but then I have taken to, reading and writing history. So Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the way she, handled the 1971 crisis, that's a matter of record, that this was India's most outstanding, the greatest ever military victory, and also the greatest ever diplomatic victory. The way she handled the crisis, and the war ended with the 93,000 Pakistani soldiers and the creation of Bangladesh. Even the then Jan Sangh leader, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he called her Durga. And one of the leading world magazines, The Economist, called her the Empress of India. So this is what Mrs. Gandhi had achieved. The whole world knew about it. And Mr. Anurag Thakur to talk in this manner, I think is highly irresponsible.
But he is reading out the letter, and you have also read the letters.
Well, if you read the letter is written on 15th of December, right? On 16th December, the war was over. So India was already winning. And next day, the ceasefire was declared. And Mrs. Gandhi knew that we were winning. and she had achieved her objective. So after achieving the objective, she wrote that letter, and in fact, she has pointed out very clearly to Mr. Nixon that, look, had you people acted in time, had you, prevented Pakistan from these atrocities in Bangladesh, then East Pakistan, all this wouldn't have happened. So, in fact, she is blaming President Nixon. She is pulling up President Nixon. So, where's the question of her begging? She is only explaining very deftly how India reacted. There's no question of begging. In fact, it was the Americans who, when the crisis erupted in Bangladesh, they were begging India to don't, go to the aid of East Pakistanis. Henry Kissinger was sent here in July, and he begged Mrs. Indira Gandhi on behalf of Nixon that please stop it. But he also warned that in case Pakistan and China get together, America will not come to your rescue. So that is fair enough. And Mrs. Gandhi was not bothered because she had already signed the Indo-Soviet Treaty in August 1971. So she was very confident of handling the crisis on her own. So like you saw my tweet, an army brigadier also saw my tweet that day. And this is how he reacted to Kargil, which I must, read out. Now this is a brigadier, he was serving, that time he was, I think, a major in 1999 during the Kargil war. And he writes that the 1998 nuclear test by Pakistan led to imposition of Pressler and Glenn amendments by the USA. The October 99 military takeover by General Musharraf led to sanctions by the Commonwealth. Thus, with US and Commonwealth aid and support cut off, Pakistan was at its weakest both militarily and politically, and Vajpayee and the BJP totally failed to leverage this golden opportunity. Now, if we had crossed the LOC, I'm certain, I'm not a great military expert, but I'm certain that the casualties would have been much less because our infantry wouldn't have had to launch these frontal attacks on these high mountains, like Tiger Hill and others. We lost the life of Captain Vikram Batra. He got PVC, of course, but such lives would have been saved if we had crossed the LOC, and we should have used our air power also. The Air Force wanted to use air power, but Vajpayee turned it out because he was under pressure of Clinton. So in both the cases, in Op Sindoor, Trump has already said almost over 30 times now that he was the one who brokered the ceasefire. And Modi ji has not reacted. But
No world leader was involved in this thing in parliament, that no world leader was involved in this.
yeah, he says that, but Trump is repeating his charge, right? So the truth will come out one day, but that be apart. But Vajpayee also, I think, he proved very weak during the Kargil crisis. The army did a damn good job, and we are proud of our Indian army. There's no doubt about it. But the handling of the crisis at the higher level, I think could have been much better had Vajpayee not listened to the Americans.
In the Trump issue, the whole opposition is targeting PM Modi, that saying that you are not criticizing him openly. If you have the guts to criticize him openly. So, do you think that if Congress were in power, it would have the courage to openly criticize a US president?
You see the record of Congress since 1947. In fact, I'll go, before 47 also. But then, we were not independent country. But we had started developing a foreign policy right from 1927 onwards, And it was the two young leaders of the Congress then, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, They were taking a lot of interest in foreign affairs. And the foreign policy the Congress started developing. And even before independence, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru had declared that we are not going to be with any power bloc. He declared that, he declared, non-alignment came later, but he had declared before 47 it's 1947 itself what the policy of an independent India would be. And if you see the record, the first time Pandit Nehru visited America was in 1949. He repeated that visit a couple of years later. Earlier, I remember Truman was the American president. Then Eisenhower was the president. Then Eisenhower came to India. And then Mrs. Gandhi's time, Nixon was there. Johnson was there, who had taken over from John F. Kennedy. During Rajiv Gandhi's time, it was George Bush Sr. and Ronald Reagan. And during Manmohan Singh's time, it was George Bush and Barack Obama. You give me a single instance from 1947 till Dr. Manmohan Singh's time when India ever acted under the pressure of Americans especially, and of any foreign power. In fact, India has never come under any pressure, and that is what our non-alignment policy has worked, because we remain equidistant from all the powers, right? We don't yield to any kind of pressure, and all the records are there. We have never yielded under pressure. You give me one example that India has ever come under pressure. So what they are talking is all nonsense.